we're trying to mitigate our losses as much as we can. We've always had this thing called a low demand checklist at Career RevGEN, and we do that whenever we do have a property that's struggling for whatever reason. And so we're kind of applying what we've learned from the low demand checklist to all of our hotels, because pretty much, even though we've got some suburban hotels who haven't seen the losses just yet, I think it's coming. So we're going to be, I'll let Adam kind of talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing at our properties.
Yeah, so kind of 5 or 6 big things here that we're focusing on. The first one is you kind of have to know your market, know your hotel. So especially with international travel being impacted probably the most with the coronavirus, knowing how much of your business mix is international travel versus domestic is really important. So looking at the OTA extranets, they usually have a breakdown of what percent of your bookings come from China versus Italy and so on. So looking at that can be really helpful and kind of gives you an idea of what we need to replace. The brands also have a lot of good initiatives they're rolling out right now. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion on the leniency on the cancellation policies, but there's also some things you can do to drive business directly over these low demand periods. So like point packages, Hilton is doing a
global week of
sales.
Hilton week of sales. They're rolling that out next week.
Yeah.
So that's kind of to drive local group, I think, traffic and sales traffic. So yeah, just pay attention to any way the brands can help you get more business, I guess.
There will be digital marketing, which I'll let Laura speak on.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of hotels that aren't gonna want to spend money right now, but if there's very few people booking, you're gonna be the one. You are going to want to get any exposure you can. So through digital marketing efforts, through Expedia travel ads, through Google hotel ads, through even things like AdWords. There's so many platforms now that make it very easy to run things like that. Search and display ads, like banner ads, things like that. So really maybe take a closer look at your marketing budget and see if there's any way you can start to fund some of these campaigns so that you can get to the top of the page. Because if there's anyone booking, you want them to book at your hotel, not the competitor. And also just making sure your online presence looks good. Like, don't lose guests just because you have bad photos or things like that.
Yeah. Also might be time to maybe try accelerators or commission overrides just to get higher placement.
Yeah.
I think right now it's just going to be about heads and beds.
The fourth thing is more about your rate strategy. So I think the first instinct everyone has in times like these is just like slash your rate, which is really easy for a revenue manager to do. But I think from what we learned from past instances like this with 9/11 and the 2008 crashes, it's a lot harder to increase your ADR.
Were you alive?
I was alive during that.
Okay, just checking.
Thank you for asking. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot harder to increase your rate.
You're not that much older.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I was reading a Star article earlier that basically said it takes twice as long to increase your ADR than it does to reduce it. So. And
it's gonna be a race to the bottom. So don't lead that pack.
So we're kind of.
Someone's gonna ruin your market, but let somebody else do it.
Yeah, so what we're kind of recommending is hold your bar rates as best you can, and then do a lot of fence discounting off of that bar rate. So fence discounting meaning like an overnight sale. That's something we're trying at one of the hotels I work with. So basically the promotion's only bookable from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it allows you to kind of maybe sneak under the comps a little bit and drive some business. There's also some things you can do with like member programs, Genius through Booking.com, Expedia has something similar. Hotel Tonight, again, that's a pretty fence channel, looking at geo rates. And then obviously the package path, bundling the room with air in a car or something like that.
Except no one's flying.
You
can give it a try. Maybe they're packaging hotel and car,
Yeah.
Point number 5 is a mix of revenue management and sales. And we're saying that you should focus on backyard accounts. So all of the large groups, conventions, you can forget about it for the next couple months. Also major corporations, I think for public safety, but also for
concerns.
legal concerns. A lot of these major corporations have put travel bans in effect, at least through the end of March. So you're not going to get, the IBMs, JP Morgans of the world. You need to focus on those smaller corporations in your backyard that are maybe driving to your hotel as opposed to flying, or doing some local work like projects in your area, trucking companies,
Government business,
business,
like
Construction.
military rather than
And then from a group
National Guard
standpoint,
groups.
again, you're not going to see large groups, but maybe you'll still see baseball teams, more of the Smurf. So try to focus your attention on that. Those are
top
our
5.
tips.
Top 6.
Top 6.
So, wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Stay calm. Hopefully in a month, we'll have more exciting news and be back to revenue growth.
Yeah. Stay calm.
Thank you.